Welcome to the Atomic Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Osborn. And on this podcast, we interview successful business owners for them to share atomic, impactful lessons that they've learned throughout the course of their business and then share them with us so we can all learn together. As always, this show is sponsored by the LinkedIn Reverse Podcast Method, the new way established businesses are creating a reliable acquisition channel of conversations with their ideal prospects. We use this method to book 26 qualified leads and sales calls in 10 days without any ad spend, outreach in the social media posting, or any of the old, ineffective traditional marketing methods that everybody hates. To find out more, direct message me on LinkedIn, have a chat. The link to that's in the show notes below. But on today's show, our special guest is Adi Klevit. She's the owner of Business Success Consulting Group, where she provides process documentation services. So, Adi, welcome to the show today. And I want to start off by asking a question that I always start off with, which is this. If you were somehow able to go back in time to when you started your very first business, but knowing what you know now, what would you do differently in the first 12 months?
I would really concentrate on correct networking and understanding how to build relationships, because those conversations, those relationships are really what counts. And I had no idea when I started my business how to market, how to make connections, how to establish those communication lines with people that really matters. And that's really what matters. So I think that will be something that I will teach myself, my younger self, faster, so I can learn those lessons faster.
Yeah, I would agree. I would have done that a lot sooner as well. If you were teaching your younger version of yourself, or let's say someone new in business, or maybe they're even well established in business, they just don't have that strength of networking. What's one thing that you would tell them to help them improve that networking skill?
It's really about caring the other person. It's about connecting and making friends. And it's not about, okay, well, where am I going to get my next lead? That's not about that, because the leads will come. And it is, what I learned is, when you walk into a room, it's not like, where's my next customer? It's like, what are the connections that I can help and I can make? And that is really that is really your asset, right? Is your connections, is the people you know. It's how you can connect people with people, and that's how you get connected as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I like what you said there as well. It's about building the relationship side, which I'm always really big on with what I teach clients in marketing as well. Because if you're just looking at the next client, they can feel that,
Right.
yeah, definitely don't want that. No one likes that.
No, I mean, and you are definitely a big advocate of podcasts. I love podcasts. I mean, I had my podcast now, probably done more than 500 episodes, and it's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way to basically to network by giving also to the other person.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. Absolutely. Well, over the years as you've grown your business, what's been one of the things that you have learned in also, we were talking about networking and building business. What's one of the biggest lessons you've learned in terms of generating leads, generating clients, and growing the business? Because I know that can be a really big challenge for businesses, no matter how big or small or young or old they are.
Yeah. I learned that you have to diversify. You have to have not all the eggs in one basket. You gotta explore the different avenues that exist in order to get leads. And why do one? Do it all. But do it in a way that makes sense to you, that it works. I mean, definitely evaluating how workable those avenues are is very important. So you don't just continue doing things that don't work. So that's another aspect of it. So you gotta explore, you gotta try, you gotta make calculated decisions. I mean, you can take calculated risks, but definitely watch those numbers so you can make the decision, well, is this working or not working? And obviously also use experts to help you. That is also very important.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Totally agree with you. Well, one of the things that I always love to talk about as well, Adi, is the challenges we have in business, because we all have them. And sometimes it can be very lonely as a business owner, or feel like we're the only one that's ever experienced this particular problem. It's not true, but we can feel that way. And so I like to kind of normalize the challenges that we all go through because it's just a normal part of business. But having said that, what's the number one business challenge that you've gone through so far? And what's the lessons that you've learned from that?
It depends on where, it depends on the times, depends on what's happening. I mean, definitely the pandemic was a big challenge. It's like, we had to very quickly reinvent ourselves, which we did. So that's what I learned, is that you can always make things happen for you if you have a good service, a good product, and if you always look at what is needed and how you can help, you can always get out of those situations. So, different challenges throughout the years, just like any business owner, because I hear it from my clients. So, as you said, you're absolutely correct. It is normal. And it's sometimes, I mean, how can we have a business without challenges? Otherwise, it'll be super boring. So, things come up and you just handle it. You just handle those issues. And as we always tell our clients, whenever you have an issue, it's either a process problem, a people problem, or both. So we are big advocates of creating playbooks, creating processes, improving upon those processes, not just creating it, but optimizing and improving upon those processes. And that can carry you through a lot, because if something is not working, you fix it, but then the long-term solution is to look at, okay, what is the process? Was it violated? Was it not followed? Is it not complete? How can we make it better? And that's what pushes us for continual improvement.
Mm, yeah. One of the things that I've always found really interesting around process is that logically, business owners know they need to have more process. They know they need to have something that is very clear, that's followed through, and yet a lot of them don't, or they think they do, but it's too generic in that. Um, for anyone that's in that headspace thinking, oh yeah, I know what Adi's saying, like I need to have the processes in place. What's something that you've been able to speak to your potential prospects or clients to go, well, if you don't have this, this is what happens. This is like, how would you explain that to somebody that logically knows, but they don't actually implement that?
Well, it's something that the person needs to see that there is actually, that it's affecting the business in some way, shape, or form. So when we talk to our clients, they're aware of it. They know that the onboarding process is not good for them, or they don't have really a way to train their employees. They might be working in the business for 60 to 80 hours a week. It's all trapped in their heads. They're being asked constant questions, the same questions over and over. They are not getting consistent results, so you have risk, you have customer complaints. Whatever it is, wherever they are in that stage of their business, they will see that, okay, well, if I had that systematized, things would be better. So I think they get it, but between getting it and the execution, there is a gap.
Mhm. Yeah. How much this is, I don't know if you'll have an exact answer to this. Not that there is an exact answer, but how much do you think businesses are losing because of that gap?
A lot. I mean, and that's what we calculate. We calculate with our business owners before we start, because we want to give them the return on investment. So it depends on what the pain point is. So, okay, so let's say you are hiring somebody new and you have to drop everything that you are doing. How much does it actually cost you? But not just in terms of time that you're investing in training, but also the lost opportunities, because maybe you as the business owner, instead of training a new employee, you could be right now doing business development and closing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but instead you are investing in training a new employee that you don't know if they're going to make it or not. So that's an example, like you can really quantify that. It might be that you have a business that you want to sell, but you don't have processes. You might be losing half the price. So there are definitely quantitative amounts that we calculate in order to see that how those lack of procedures are actually affecting people.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think that's a great way to look at it is, as you said, how many times are businesses or business owners focusing on something just because of a lack of process, and they're actually losing out on potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in business development because like, oh no, I'm trying to train up someone new. It's like, you don't have a process in place, you're missing out on business. Yeah, that's a great example around that. Well, or let's say over the next 2 to 3 years of your business, what are your goals? What would you like to achieve?
So I'm in the process of writing a book, which is already been published as an ebook, but this is the bigger version, and it basically stop carrying your business in your head. So it has specific actions that business owners can take in order to do that knowledge transfer. It really explains our methodology, how we do it, how we successfully worked with hundreds and hundreds of businesses to extract that information and create workable playbooks that can be followed.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. When is that book being launched?
So right now we are aiming for the fall of 2026.
Nice. Very good. That's exciting. I like that. Get your business out of your head, which is where it lives in most people's
It's
most
true.
people's lives.
Yeah, it stop carrying your business in your head, which is very common. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Um, is there one last tip or piece of advice that you would give to someone listening on what they can start doing? Obviously, contacting you is a great first step, but what is something that they can do practically just to start get the ball rolling to get their business out of their head?
Yeah, there is a methodology. And if you go to www.successreplicated.com, you can download the ebook that I have right now that walks you through the methodology. I mean, I can go over it, but I don't think we have enough time. But it's very simple. Just do that, download it. And we also have an AI tool that can help you get started. And that's what I suggest is don't put it off. Start documenting your processes. And yes, now in the AI era, you need it more than ever because in order to actually automate or create agents or use AI, you got to know what your processes are. So go to successreplicated.com and download that ebook and get started.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. I'm going to ask you one last question because some people might be thinking this huge. You just mentioned AI. I'll go, oh, well, why would I need Adi when I can just go to AI? And the thing is, they don't know what they don't know, and
Mhm.
therefore they're telling AI the wrong thing, and AI will deliver the wrong thing. So I might have answered your question for you, but why would someone go to you as opposed to just going to AI?
Well, we say go to AI and good luck and let's see what happens. Because even internally for us, we, of course, we are on the forefront and use AI in different aspects. And also we provide AI solutions to our clients in terms of like searching and finding in the knowledge base. But to create the knowledge base, it has to come from you. It doesn't come from an AI. Otherwise, it's just a generic policy that really doesn't apply the way that you do business. So what you have to maintain and preserve is the way you do business and what is so unique for you, and also what are best practices. And we know best practices because we've worked with hundreds of businesses. When you get the solution, the result, like if you ask the AI, you don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I know it happened to me because I asked and then I go and ask experts to really compare it. So you have that comparison, but you need to know. And also it takes a long time. You can sit in front of AI and 10 hours later, you maybe created two procedures that are maybe generic. So I'm not dismissing AI. It definitely has its place, but I know for sure that every business needs playbooks. And if you go to the AI and you tell, well, you sit in front of Claude or ChatGPT, create playbooks for a plumbing company. Okay, well, that's great. You can still buy it now, generic plumbing company processes and procedures, but does it align to what you need to do? Is it aligning to what you are actually doing? Probably not. So it has to be very much adapted to you. But the main thing that we do is make sure that those procedures are being followed. Because if they're not followed and implemented by your employees, what's the point? You can write and write and write and nobody follows. And that is our area of expertise, is extracting the information, writing it in such a way that everyone can understand in a single source of truth, and then making sure that those processes and procedures are actually being followed. So then you stop carrying the knowledge in your head, because honestly, even if you write it, but it's not being followed, you're still carrying it in your head. So that is when you can replicate your success. That's when you can really expand, is when it's being utilized and being used. And that is the power of what we do.
Yeah, amazing. Great answer to that. And I might take what you just said there as well. Use AI and good luck.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
I
I said,
feel,
okay, but
yeah, it's the same thing with people that yeah, I like that.
yeah,
It's very,
you
very
talk
true.
to a marketing agency, and I ask, I interview many people on my podcast, and I go like, okay, well, it's kind of like, okay, so why can't I just create the website using AI? I was like, okay, it's like, okay, good luck, go for it, and then tell me why not. I mean, that's really the
Yeah.
thing is, or I was talking to a lead generation person as well, and then he says, well, AI can generate. I goes, when was the last time you generated leads using AI? Well, not really. Okay, well, okay, so there you go.
Yeah.
Here's your answer.
I know. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, Adi, thank you so much for being on the show. And I definitely recommend everyone listening to check out the website that she mentioned earlier. Uh, get your processes in place. It will help you out in tremendous way. So again, Adi, thank you so much for being on the show today. And as a reminder for everyone listening, this show is sponsored by the LinkedIn Reverse Podcast Method, the new way that established businesses are creating a reliable acquisition channel of conversations with their ideal prospects that doesn't rely on any of the old, ineffective traditional marketing methods that everybody hates. To find a more direct message me on LinkedIn and have a chat, it's Jason A. Osborn. The link to that will be in the show notes below. And until next episode, stay inspired.